Day one of Kari Lake's trial ended, and day two begins soon. Watching this trial, here's what I can tell you right off the bat. The media's lying. Don't get your hopes up. There was a lot of shocking testimony, evidence presented by expert witnesses about issues on Election Day and issues with ballot printers. The media right now is reporting that there's no shockers. There wasn't even a pea shooter, no smoking gun. Okay, well, here's what we have. You had a witness, and I'm going to show you all the evidence. I'm going to show you all of the evidence. A witness said the ballots are normally 20 inches. That's the paper. They took a 20-inch piece of paper, but shrunk the actual printer image to 19, meaning the ballot tabulator would not recognize what was being put in it. And then it got rejected. 3 witnesses, I think, presented very, very strong evidence, which would require a very serious investigation. At the very least, I think some remedy, some temporary remedy, should be granted to Kari Lake. I'm not saying definitively one way or another. I know exactly what happened or why, but the witness testimony we have so far is that intentional actions were taken to disrupt the election. To put it simply, because I got to walk you through this, it's very complicated. These ballot images were being rejected. The first witness, this guy, Clay Parikh, I think his name is, said that the only way the ballot images, like the PDF file that would get printed onto the paper, the only way that could be changed was by bypassing security and then altering the physical hardware of the machine or the printer settings in the software. Basically, some kind of tampering beyond security measures. Thus, it could not be an accident. Then you had testimony from another individual, a roving lawyer, who said 100 and some odd voting centers were having this problem. How could that be an accident? And then probably one of the stupidest things, I got to tell you, man, what is the old saying for lawyers? Never ask a question you don't already know the answer to. And the lawyer asked, do you have any knowledge that this election would have turned out differently if these, things didn't occur? And there was an objection, but then ultimately he answers. He said, well, the vote margin for Kari Lake was 17,000 votes. And he says, there is no question in my mind that if these voting problems did not happen, he basically said, I want to make sure I get it right. He said that if the voting problems didn't happen, because the vote margin was only 17,000, Kari Lake would be governor. Now, that's the opinion of one guy. And this is what I want to stress. Right now, you have a witness saying the only way this could happen is if it was intentionally done. That's just a witness. That doesn't mean we know definitively that someone did this. That's an important factor. The second thing is you had this. You know what? I should start going through this instead of trying to break it down myself and show you what's going on. The big shocker I want to say is that the corporate press is lying. Oh, okay, big shocker. The corporate press is lying about everything, hands down, and that's what has me worried. YouTube's rules are that, you can't claim widespread glitches or errors resulted in a different outcome in a certified election. This is the problem, YouTube. This is a trial currently underway, and we've not even gotten to a hardcore investigation because of the way the law is set up. So even when the second witness testified that a private company called Runbeck, that the employees there claim it's a perk that you can bring ballots in outside of the chain of custody, they said, yeah, but that's only 50, right? Only 50 ballots. Who knows? Doesn't sound like 17,000 to me. That's the argument they're making. The fact that the media is covering this up shouldn't be a surprise to you, but is terrifying. So let me show you some things. Let me show you some clips. And I want to give a shout out to Timcast's good friends, Robert Barnes and Viva Fry, who have amazing coverage of this. And I love their commentary. It was absolutely fantastic. And I'm going to show you some of those selects that they were tweeting out because they're amazing. Key points from the trial presenting legitimate evidence. This is what I will stress. Kari Lake, in my opinion, has not proven anything. Now, I know, hold on. A lot of people are going to get mad. What do you mean, Tim? No, hold on. What's happened is witnesses have provided sworn testimony. That's evidence of a thing, not definitive proof of a thing. But this is what we need. The question is whether the judge will accept the evidence from this testimony or reject it. The defense has not discredited this evidence. And this is another point. Not that you can easily do it. It's hard to prove a negative. But when the second witness comes out and says, there is no chain of custody on nearly 300,000 ballots as a definitive sworn statement of fact, the defense need only say, here it is. Here's the paper. Okay? They don't have it. Why doesn't this massive team of lawyers have the chain of custody documents? It is a legal requirement for them to exist. So where are they? Do they exist or don't they? If Kari Lake's team is on this, as a witness testifying, there is no chain of custody document, we don't know how to track these ballots. Because there is a legal requirement for them to exist, it should be an easy step to be like, here's your document. Judge, can you dismiss this? That's all they had to do. There's a reason why the judge did not dismiss the chain of custody argument and the tabulator argument, because these are questions of fact. And that means that Katie Hobbs' team and Maricopa County's team could literally just be like, okay, here's the tabulator working. Here's the chain of custody documents. Dismissed. They didn't do it. And then we got testimony. Testimony is evidence. The media will lie and claim it's not. It is not definitive proof. I know a lot of people are like, Tim, just admit it. Kari Lake won and all that. Bro, I like Kari Lake. She's amazing. Was speaking with her recently. We have a journalist embedded at this trial going through all of this. I am just trying to make sure that I dot the I's and cross the T's. We don't want to come out and make definitive statements too early. What I can say right now is evidence has been presented and not been refuted, and the media is lying about it. And this evidence must be answered for, because I'll tell you this right now. If the judge comes out and says, yeah, there's evidence, but I don't care, case dismissed, right? You didn't sufficiently prove intent. This is one of the most shocking and devastating things that could possibly happen in this country. The fact that at trial, you have a guy say, the only way it's possible is if it's intentional, and the defense offering no counter. Just the media lying. And we don't get answers for that. I think the confidence in this country will be destroyed, or at least in Arizona, to put it mildly. Let's take a look at some of what we got. AP says Kari Lake trial to be Arizona governor lacks day one shockers. It's just insane. Insane that they would say it lacked shockers. Lake's attorneys claim the chain of custody for ballots was broken at an offsite facility. The county disputes the claim. Dude, that's a shocker. All they got to do is produce the chain of custody documents they're legally required to have. The law says you have to have documents showing where the ballots came from and where they're going. They don't have it. Or I should say, they didn't present it. You can't just come out and be like, we got it. Okay, where is it? It's in a box somewhere. No. If witnesses testify under oath, they were told when requesting these, they don't exist and they were not delivered, the judge should be like, okay, well, that's a sworn statement. Can you produce these documents in question? An amazing moment happened when the plaintiff, this is Kari Lake's team, asked the witness, did the defense bring any evidence of these chain of custody documents? No. Well, that would easily win them their case. So here you have sworn statements, sworn testimony. They did not produce these. And they also said they didn't exist. Well, okay. What else are you supposed to do? Because these county officials aren't going to report themselves for committing crimes. It is illegal to not have this. Let's take a look at some of what we got. This is the smoking gun, in my opinion. Kari Lake War Room says, breaking, in violation of state law, Maricopa County separated the duplicate ballot from the original ballot before the recount, making them irreconcilable. Brian Krasenstein, I like the Krasensteins. I respect that they disagree, but here, Brian, you're wrong. He just said 2 words, sore loser. Brian, it's illegal to do this, okay? You can call Kari Lake a sore loser, fine, but we still need to reconcile the crimes that are being alleged under penalty of perjury. I mean, that matters, doesn't it? They said, okay, so here's what happens. Let me, I don't think I have any of this in order because I just pulled up all these documents. But the first witness, let me just go through this because I got so much that I want to go through. The first witness says, take a look at this. This is from Kate or Die. 19-inch ballots printed on a 20-inch ballot paper. This is very, very important. Let's see if we can pull it up. So on the left, you can see there's a large margin up top. The witness, Clay Parikh, I think his name is, said he took a ruler and measured this. He could see as they were pulling these ballots out that there were many ballots misprinted like this. These ballots were getting rejected from the machines. It's because the machine is expecting to see these bars around the edge. It's effectively like a code. It's tracking to make sure that this is the right piece of paper. It was misshapen. So the scanner got an improper image and said, I don't know what this is. Kick it back. When these were rejected, here's where we get, let me pull up. Here we go. Where's this stupid article? I got too many articles pulled up. Here it is. Lake's expert witness. Misprinted ballots would ultimately have been counted. He did not say that this. Oh, man, I can't stand this. You know, I don't like judges who hide behind procedure when an obvious statement of fact is presented to them. Misprinted ballots would have ultimately been counted. That's not what he said. Here's what happens. The witness testifies, okay, that these 19-inch ballots would be rejected. They would not be counted. So the defense, Katie Hobbs and Maricopa County's lawyers basically, come in and say, if a ballot is rejected, would it then be duplicated and counted? And the witness responded, that's not possible. And he goes, answer the question. He says, that's not possible. And he says, answer the question. And the judge goes, it's a yes or no question. If you don't understand it, just say you don't understand it. Here's the issue at play. The originals are missing. So this is the manipulation. When they say, he did say they'd be counted, in a general sense, the procedure, and this is why you got to do witness training. Kari Lake, please. I understand you don't have a lot of time, but this was a trick. It's like the question, like, did you stop beating your wife yesterday? It's a yes or no question. Well, what if I don't beat my wife? A yes or no question. If you don't understand the question, just say you don't understand. Oh, man. Here's the issue. If a ballot is misprinted due to an intentional change in that printer, and then that ballot gets rejected, it is not so simple as to just say, are rejected ballots duplicated and then counted? Here's how I would answer. And here's how you got to give witness training. Because these other witnesses did a fantastic job. But it was so frustrating to watch Clay. No offense, Clay. I don't blame you for this. They tricked you, okay? They got you. And then the media got their talking point. Here's what you do. It's really, really simple. If I'm sitting there on the witness stand and I testify, the only way these ballot images were altered was through an intentional act changing the settings on the machine, which would require the ability to bypass security measures. Thus, it could not be accidental. Then the guy comes up, defense comes up. If a 19-inch ballot image is rejected, would it then be duplicated and then counted? No. What was that? But wouldn't it be counted? I believe I gave you my answer. The answer is no, Your Honor. Would you like me to elaborate? The answer is no. No, it would not be counted. Just say no. This is what the importance of witness training is, okay? Witness training is not to coach them into lying or anything like that. Witness training is to make them understand the context of the question will often be a manipulation or leading on cross. The point is, when they ask, if a ballot is duplicated and rejected, will it be, if a ballot is misprinted and then rejected, would it be duplicated and counted? They are not talking to you about a general global context of what should be. They're asking you specifically about this right now, but they're making the question sound like it's about something totally different. In your mind, you must understand the context is not general policy. It is right now in this moment. And right now in this moment, if a ballot is rejected because it's incorrect, that ballot would not be counted. Period. The duplicate ballot with no original is not counted. I'll elaborate. I'd say, Your Honor, if you'd like me to clarify, this is a statement of fact. If John Smith casts a ballot and that ballot is rejected, and then later someone else duplicates the ballot but separates it from the original, that original is not counted in the machine, and we have no reconciliation between the two. Thus, a duplicate without an original is not a valid ballot cast. Period. Man, I've been ranting because this was so crazy to watch. Look at this. AZ Central, no smoking gun in Kari Lake's lawsuit. There's so much to go through, man. I gotta pull up. Look at Robert Barnes says Kari Lake proved everything she needed to today to win her election contest. I'm not a lawyer. Robert is. So we'll see, because you've got the corporate press saying nope, nope, nope. You've got lawyers like Robert Barnes and Viva saying, yeah, it looks like it. Here's my layman assessment. These individual witnesses are just that. They're expert witnesses. The court doesn't recognize them as experts. They recognize their testimony along with their potential expertise. But this is sworn statements. This is evidence. If someone swears under oath a thing happened, then I believe there needs to be reconciliation for that. Either the person is committing perjury, considering you had 3 witnesses, 4 or whatever, and more today. I don't think perjury is a reasonable response. I think you have to just be, or I should say, I don't think it's reasonable to just reject it outright. You need to be like, yeah, I don't think perjury is likely. You need to be, okay, we need to reconcile this. Let me show you this stuff. Robert Barnes. In summation, Kari Lake proved her case. Hobbs's lawyer's incompetence helped her case even more. Live coverage with Eva Frey. Yeah, I think I have this stuff pulled up. I really got to show you. Here's the columnist who said, no pea shooter. Look at this. AZ Central, no evidence of misconduct in first day of Kari Lake election challenge trial. This guy's lying. They testified. There was misprinted ballots that got rejected. They testified. The only way that could have happened was an intentional act by someone with access to the machines. And then you had testimony from, I think I have it up here. Let me see. From, this is the guy. This is one of the witnesses who said outright, I got to play this for you. He said outright, if the election failure, the tabulator failures didn't happen, Kari Lake would have won.
Supervisors stated that the problem was completely resolved.
Oh, I got to turn the audio on. Sorry. Let me make sure I get that audio for you guys. We're gonna run long.
How bad? Don't follow. If you get smacked in the face, don't say, "Huh." Let me ask you my second scripted question. I'll allow you to smack me in the face again.
But the evidence that you put forward in your declaration was that only 24 of 223 had long
I'm
lines.
going to re-ask my dumb question.
That's all I was able to conclude in the time that
Stop talking right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop it. Move on.
Issues spreadsheet.
Shut up.
Move
on.
You're not a real lawyer. You're not a
Any
real
voter
lawyer.
in Maricopa County may go to any vote center they wish, correct?
Oh, now they're going to go. You could have gone somewhere else.
You did not personally witness any voter who left a vote center without casting a ballot after encountering a tabulator.
I guarantee you he
correct?
did.
I wasn't looking for that.
So here today, you can't tell me that you witnessed that.
I can't, but a lot of the declarations do indicate.
And Bill Gates said to go do it. Go to another voting.
So I'll pause right there. What the witness, so interesting happened in the trial. He has sworn statements from other witnesses who were observing, lawyers. He is testifying to that knowledge. The judge did not let them enter in all of these sworn declarations. He said, pick one or the other, the declarations or the witness, which is kind of weird. But the witness is saying right now, in sworn declarations, this is perjury. These witnesses said many people left the voting stations without voting due to long lines.
Station. He said it in a video.
You have no personal knowledge as to whether these
You
printing
know
errors
personal
changed
knowledge of how he
the
screwed
outcome
up
of the
this
election,
election, right?
correct?
Beyond which
She just asked, you have no personal knowledge that these printing errors changed the outcome of the election. Here's the witness statement.
you already testified to, right?
Objection, Your Honor. Foundation.
Your Honor, I'm just asking whether he knows.
His knowledge is the same thing. If you know, sir, and you're able to answer,
Well,
go ahead.
I would say, there's only 17,000 roughly votes separating the two candidates for governor. Based on what I saw on election day, I would say there's no question in my mind that had there not been tabulator issues at 132 vote centers, this election would have ended up with Kari Lake winning.
Wow.
That's your inference. You're making,
testimony
correct?
that he didn't even
You
get
asked
out
me
on
for my
direct.
opinion.
She just got
I didn't
it
ask for your
across.
opinion. I asked
He
if you
gave
had
him the
personal knowledge.
causation. He just gave the whole evidence right
I
there.
don't
Summed
have
it up.
knowledge
Because
of
this idiot
specific
didn't
numbers.
listen to the wise young lawyers and would-be lawyers.
Okay. Do not ask a question you don't already know the answer to. Right there, an expert witness, I should say a witness with expert testimony and sworn statements just stated, due to the amount of issues he saw, 132 different locations, with only 17,000 votes separating the candidates, he does believe there's no question in his mind that were it not for those errors, Kari Lake would be governor. Okay. Now, I want to make sure I stress this point. This is not an attempt to be a milquetoast fence sitter. It's that this is one guy giving his opinion based on something he saw. We don't know how the judge will take it. I know most of you, probably all of you, are sitting there saying, it's enough. Robert Barnes is right. I'm not here to say Barnes is right or Viva's right or the judge, he's not yet ruled. I'm just here to tell you these things were stated. They must be reconciled. If the judge, in my opinion, comes back and says, I heard all this. We've not seen chain of custody documents. We heard sworn statements from an individual that the only way this could have happened was intentional. I'm going to end it here and just say, everybody go home. Katie Hobbs is governor. Yikes. That's the only thing I can say is yikes. This country is being gutted and ripped apart because government is comprised of confidence. If people have faith the system works, then people will say, well, I lost this one. But when you hear sworn statement from numerous witnesses that there was something going on that was problematic, that there was no chain of custody, that the only way it could have happened with the printer errors was that it was intentional, and from a lawyer, and all of these sworn depositions that were it not for the errors, in his opinion, then Kari Lake would be governor. That must be reconciled. Otherwise, judge, you shatter confidence in the people. YouTube, you shatter confidence in the people. But I'll tell you, maybe that's what they want. I would not be surprised if you came to me and said the people at YouTube and the judge and all these higher ups want the country destroyed. I don't know. The other issue is that maybe they're all just really, really stupid. I'll put it simply. These people, these intelligence agencies, on the surface, I don't know what their true intentions are, but on the surface, they think, we're told, they want to save this country. So they go, we have to make sure that anyone who rejects election results gets banned. That's the only way to preserve this country. Actually, that's exactly how you destroy it. What I want is to preserve the country. If Katie Hobbs won, and this testimony is just garbled nonsense from people who think they're right but are actually wrong, please prove it. And let Katie Hobbs be governor. I don't like her, but whatever. You need to build confidence in the system and explain to all of us how this testimony is incorrect. When they say there's no chain of custody documents, you need only show them, Your Honor, here it is. Okay, if we give this to them, will they go away? But they didn't do that. They only made it worse by being like, I don't know, don't have it, don't need it. That lawyer that just asked that question, it's almost like the incompetence is insurmountable. That lawyer was so insanely incompetent. Why are you doing this? This is the crazy thing. That lawyer didn't even have to ask them a freebie. That's why I'm like, maybe they want confidence shattered. They want this country destroyed. Because you see that lawyer asking dumb question after dumb question after dumb question, and they keep doing it. They're giving them layups. It's so weird. Here's what I can say right now. Evidence has been presented, but evidence does not mean definitive proof. Definitive proof would be like a guy on video bragging and smoking a cigar about how he tampered with those machines. It would be a video of a guy going to the machine and tampering with it. You'd be like, wow, that's definitive proof. What we have here is circumstantial evidence. This means that individuals provided statements. We've not seen it happen. We've not seen people doing it. We've only been given glimpses based on sworn witness testimony. Now, these statements from these individuals need to be reconciled. I am concerned the judge will simply go, don't care. We'll see, though. There's precedent. We talked about this last night. There were instances, Luke brought it up, where state level elections were overturned by a judge because of things like this. So I will just tell everybody to wait and see. But Kari Lake is going to appeal this all the way to the Supreme Court, most likely. So this ain't stopping until it's there. Thank you, Kari Lake, for fighting. Look, we're a country of, for, and by the people. They call it a democracy. It's not, but sure, whatever. This means we have a right to use the courts to seek reconciliation. If the courts, in the end, the Supreme Court says, no, we're done with this, then so be it. But if they don't answer these questions, people are going to lose it. They're going to say the courts are illegitimate, and it's already happening with the left. So we'll see. I'll leave it there. Next segment is coming up at 1 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I will see you all then.